Module Overview. In this module, we enter the realm of two-point perspective, a cornerstone in realistic and dynamic spatial representation. While one-point perspective offers a direct head-on view, two-point perspective introduces angled and oblique orientations, enabling the artist to construct scenes with a heightened sense of three-dimensionality, spatial complexity, and angular depth. This form of perspective is especially vital when depicting cornered structures, rotated planes, or architectural subjects viewed from a diagonal angle. From the grandeur of Baroque architectural renderings to the cinematic precision of modern concept art, two-point perspective is a critical tool in the visual language of composition. Artists, architects, industrial designers, game developers, and illustrators rely heavily on this technique to create volumetric scenes that resonate with real-world believability and compositional drama. Learning objectives. Upon completing this module, you will understand the mathematical and visual principles of two-point perspective. Construct buildings, furniture, objects, and environments angled in space. Differentiate between one-point, two-point, and three-point perspectives. Analyze how dual vanishing points affect visual balance and form. Integrate two-point perspective grids into manual and digital workflows. Recognize compositional flow lines and spatial logic in angled compositions. Create expressive and architecturally sound art based on angular perspective. Fundamentals of two-point perspective. Unlike one-point perspective, which utilizes a single vanishing point for depth, two-point perspective employs two vanishing points on the horizon line, which often sit far apart, outside the frame. Key components. Horizon line represents the viewer's eye level. Vanishing point A, left, determines recession of objects toward the left. Vanishing point B, right, determines recession of objects toward the right. Vertical lines remain upright and do not converge. Orthogonals, diagonal lines extending to both vanishing points. Station point optional, where the viewer stands, determining angles and distortion. Step-by-step construction process. Draw the horizon line across the canvas. Place two vanishing points, widely spaced, left and right. Draw a vertical edge between the vanishing points. This is the nearest corner of the object. Extend orthogonal lines from both vanishing points to form sides receding into space. Use additional vertical lines to close off the form and define its volume. Apply proportion guidelines, height lines, and spacing transversals to align multiple objects or architectural details. Historical use and masters of two-point perspective. Architectural draftsmanship. Employed extensively in the Renaissance and Neoclassical periods. Draftsmen like Filaret, Leon Battista Alberti, and Andrea Palladio used 2 points to define cornered facades and spatial symmetry. Painters and illustrators, Canaletto used it to depict angled Venetian cityscapes. M.C. Escher incorporated a distorted 2-point perspective for optical illusions. Comic artists and manga illustrators rely on it to build immersive scenes. Modern examples: industrial designers, furniture, car design use 2-point for technical illustrations. 3D artists and environment concept artists utilize 2-point in every production phase from thumbnailing to matte painting. Psychology and aesthetics. 2-point perspective imparts realism and control, but also evokes certain psychological and narrative cues. Stability and structure. Because vertical lines remain perpendicular, buildings feel grounded. Complexity and energy. Angular views suggest motion, asymmetry, and dynamic presence. Viewer engagement. 2 angles direct the eye across the page, fostering exploration. Narrative duality. Symbolically, the 2 vanishing points may represent contrasting paths or dualities in storytelling, e.g., conflict versus peace, interior versus exterior. Applications. A. Architectural illustration. Cornered exteriors and interior rooms. Castles, towers, temples, urban blocks. B. Product and industrial design. Cars, gadgets, machines, devices. C. Cinematic storyboarding, streets, alleyways, office interiors. Dynamic angles for dramatic tension. D. Environmental concept art, game levels, fantasy cities, sci-fi tech hubs. Digital workflow. Set up perspective grids in Photoshop, Procreate, Clip Studio Paint, or Krita using line rulers or vanishing point assistance. Use Blender or SketchUp for real-time 3D perspective previews. Import grid templates to maintain accurate line convergence. Create brushes with built-in convergence for stylus use. Common errors to avoid. Misaligned orthogonals that fail to meet their vanishing points. Tilting vertical lines leading to unintended distortion. Placing vanishing points too close together, causing exaggerated convergence. Uneven spacing of repetitive elements like windows or tiles, overcrowding scenes without defining foreground/midground/background planes, practical exercises. Draw a skyscraper from the ground up using two vanishing points. Create a fantasy castle viewed from a corner. Recreate a street with lampposts and storefronts fading to both sides. Observe a book at a 45-degree angle and draw it in two-point perspective. Sketch a room corner with furniture and doors using perspective grids. Integration with other modules. Module 1 and 2 covered eye level and one-point logic. This module now allows for oblique and diagonal views. Prepares you for three-point perspective, Module 4, by mastering dual vanishing logic.